Hello, welcome back. My name is Elizabeth. We started playing. Here, 1 second. Okay, this is crazy. I got a new headset, and you can probably tell that the audio quality has changed. It's a little weird. I feel like I can't hear myself very well because it's like noise canceling, and I've never used noise canceling headphones before. But yeah, it should be a lot better audio quality from now on. But anyways, yeah. I started playing Interrogation, You Will Be Deceived, and we finished the tutorial and like first 2 missions, and we found out about this extremist group called the Liberation Front, and yeah, so we're just gonna continue with that. Oh, and last time I left it off right before we were supposed to write the press release for that last case, so we should go and do that real quick. In response to the emergence of the terrorist organization that identifies itself as Liberation Front. Not sure what to put here. Okay, maybe we'll just leave it like that for now. The STPD assembled the Stu Truth and Order Special Unit in order to counter this threat. An intelligence gathering operation of the respective unit has led to the interview and eventual arrest of Fred Ennis. I mean, this one is a lot tougher than the other ones. He did confess. He confessed to... like, actually... We'll go with confessed sympathizer, of a terrorist cell. 2 other suspects have been interviewed as part of the same investigation, but they have been released. I guess... I don't like either of these, because you're innocent until proven guilty, but... I think we'll just go with that one, due to a lack of evidence against them. Well, no, we'll go with that. Along with his confession, Fred Ennis' interview also yielded relevant information regarding the terrorist organization, the password to a secure chat room used by a terrorist organization. We'll just go with relevant information. The officers in charge of the investigation are hopeful that this information will be useful in preventing future terrorist attacks. Jennifer, great job in there, boss. Now that we are logged in, even for a second, we can analyze what they've been talking. Okay, at first glance, they seem to be using code words. Tab says, I can set up a smart algorithm that can detect possible meanings from the contextual usage of words. Jennifer, or we could simply try to figure out directly. I don't trust algorithms. Why can't we do both? Do both, set up the algorithms, and also try to figure out things manually. Tab, this will mean that both of us will be busy working on this. We may have a hard time responding to other issues that pop up. I get a feeling she is not a big fan of us. Let's try and get on her good side, because we did things he liked last time. Chief Anderson, as part of leading your team, you'll have to manage budget and assign missions. For budgeting, you'll be getting $3,000 with each budget round. You can influence your available funds in many ways, and any sums unspent are saved for the next budget round. You can assign available agents to missions on top of their core investigation work for the team. How well they'll do is determined by how motivated they are and how much the task fits their background and expertise. I've forwarded you an outsourced HR report. It's on me. It should tell you how well the agents might do on missions. If you don't buy yourself expanded HR reports in the future, you won't know what their likelihood of success will be. Maintaining all facets of the image of your team is key. You need approval or else you'll lose the team. Yeah, so we gotta make everyone happy. Buying expanded PR reports can help you understand what's causing shifts in your image. All set? All set. Good luck. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so available funds. Something, okay. Order HR report. A comprehensive evaluation of the agents, giving us an exact assessment of their morale level, their compatibility with the missions available, as well as expanding their personal file. 2. Order extended PR report. Order a detailed evaluation from the Burstiller Marson Company of how key stakeholders currently view the task force as led by you. PR assistance. Receive key advice and PR support from the Burstiller Marson Company towards advertising the task force's efforts in a positive light. Civil forfeiture for overtime. Assign overtime to the agents in order to help other departments pursue cases that are likely involve major civil forfeiture opportunities, thus gaining access to the newly confiscated resource. Ooh, so that's like an investment. Let's do that. Okay, cool. R&R team building. Take the other agents out to an evening of team building. Let's hold off for now, maybe. I don't know. CO overtime. Assign overtime to the agents in order to participate in a community outreach program that has officers engaging with the at-risk youth. This will allow the teens to gain a better understanding of police work and perhaps even gain interest in law enforcement. I feel like that one could be useful just because like of our conversation with like Munch Jerry in the last one. He seemed pretty depressed, especially with like his view of the police force in the city. I don't know, that could be useful. Informer stimulants. Give the agent going on the pursue informer mission extra budget to help motivate those that may hold information. Procedure training. Organize a training session for the agents to learn the latest techniques and procedures used by the department. Therapy. Book a session with a specialized therapist helping law enforcement officers deal with the stresses commonly encountered in the line of work. Okay, well, I do kind of want that. So is this just for like the next month, if we pick that? Okay, let's have her do that. I don't understand how to make them. Oh, okay, there we go. She can do that. Let's do that. And then focus on chat room analysis. Oh, she only has a 65% chance. I thought it was 85% with that. Oh, we did say we were gonna make, yeah, she could do that. We said she should do that. And then it's a little hard sometimes. I want to do that, I think. Yeah. Chief Anderson, we've got a reporter in. I'm gonna ask you to try and answer a few of his questions. Oh, he's got a saucy little pose. This is Eddie Walker from the Heraldic. Okay, I can't say it. Greetings, officer. Are you ready to get started? I'll leave you to it. Let's make this snappy. Let me clear the room first, make sure we have some privacy. Okay, so first things first, how does it feel to be inside and assign lead to such an important task force? I think this one's probably the most professional and least, like, jerkish. What sort of boss are you to your team? I follow the well thought out procedures and protocols the PD prescribes for team management. Are you and your team prepared enough to take on this duty? I don't really want to just pick like a specific one, so maybe we'll just do that. Oh, he did not like that. You're facing a threat that seems to have significant resources. Can you keep up with them, logistically speaking? That's a little bit much. Let's do this. Such organizations try to create the appearance of wielding more power than they really have. We'll get them. That is such an evil little look he gives. Okay, what comes first in your investigation? Disarming the pawns or getting to the leaders? I kind of want to say, yeah, I don't want to give anything that the other side might see and like be able to use against us, so I'm afraid I can't share such strategic procedural details. He didn't like that. This Liberation Front, what do they want? Probably this. They seem to have a disjointed political ideology that preys on dissatisfaction. We're still trying to understand it. Have they made any demands? Nah. Probably just vague and coherent propaganda about a new future. Terrorist leaders have to set unachievable objectives to keep power. How can people at home help the task force? I'm between one of these two. Be vigilant and safe, be alert, and report suspicious behavior immediately. What time frame are we looking at? When will we be rid of this threat? We'll crush these maggots. Okay, the point to our action is firstly to make people safe. We'll do that for as long as it takes. Thank you for the interview, officer. Wow. They had over like 70% chance on both of these to do well. And they did not at all. Wow. Oh, okay. Popularity, right in the middle. Press approval, that one up. Authorities approval, that one up. Okay, so not too bad on this part. I am not pleased with Mordecai or Tab. Like, for real, boys, can't believe you did that already. Oh, your HR report is ready, files declassified. Okay. Jennifer Ray's observations. Extra aspects discovered in HR interviews or through background research have been added as classified entries to the agent's file. Given the following, in integrating the agent's background, success probabilities have been calculated. Motivation level, moderate. Subject has variable motivation and confidence level. They may feel fatigued or lacking ownership in the team's endeavors. Okay, so they all just feel moderate. Okay, so we have a little like dossier on each of them. She is a bachelor in forensic psychology. Let's see. I don't want to read all of this because this is a lot. Let's see the summary. She applied for an engineering degree at a reputed university. Over time, her class attendance steadily dropped, and with it, her grades. Notes from the university psychologist show she was having trouble adapting to the new environment and underlined low levels of engagement and motivation. Okay. Then she traveled around, offered free literacy lessons to the impoverished, uneducated adults, and trying to re-enroll them in the workforce. Okay, so then she found her passion for psychology, and she dropped the engineering degree and applied for a degree in psychology at Berkeley. Okay, interesting. You have Morty. Bachelor in Juvenile Justice. He grew up in a now demolished trailer park on the outskirts of San Francisco. Okay. He was good in school. He didn't talk to a lot of people. The psychologist deemed him rash with a propensity for violence. He was not marked for further inquiries into these issues, as the school assessed his stable family environment. Overall school performance do not raise cause for concern. He worried about the rise of youth crime. Okay, yeah. And there's Tab. He has a BA in... okay, I know that this... I know the word for this, but I can't remember it right now. Crime investigation. And a master's in forensic science. Economics, I think. Okay. The child of Bogdanov and Lulev Thompson. I did not say those names right. A family of Russian immigrants who arrived a long time ago. With a family tradition deeply rooted in the old ways, including Hellenic orthodoxy, Tab attended a private religious school, highly reputable and equally expensive. However, from early age, some peculiar okay, I can't say that word, and I wasn't able to say it last time either, in behavior were noticed. Reclusiveness, long periods of silence, and obsessive focus when given a task, unusual for someone of that age. Several psychologists attempted to give an assessment, but the reports are conflicting, ranging from depression to autism. Eventually, the parents gave up trying to fix their child and opted to ignore these quirks, hoping they were just a phase that would eventually pass. They did not pass, but rather evolved into the complex individual Tab is today. A self-described genderless, humanist, proceduralist, Tab shows great analytical skills, intense patience and diligence, but also empathy and sensibility to the suffering of those around. After graduating summa cum laude, they joined the small but effective Criminal Enforcement and Financial Crimes Bureau in New York. The youngest of age to be accepted. The team was involved in high-profile cases of tax evasion and market fraud, blah 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 blah. Cool. So we have a bunch of people who were reclusive at one point. This portion is confidential. Cool. We have the newspaper, the Liberation Front, and me, how I wasn't cool enough to change the world. Your career credentials won't matter in the future, before ceasing to respond. Okay, interesting. So secrecy is key with these people to maintain the brand's mystique, I believe. Interesting. So they wanted her basically... I just skimmed the front, so from what I understand, she was reporting on this, and they basically told her the rest of their conversations were going to be off the record. Yeah. Is there anything cool in here? It's just the instructions. Oh, and those are our memories. Okay, cool. Jennifer, so hey, boss. Wanted to clear the water about some stuff that I don't know whether you're even aware of or not. Chief Lucas was looking at the two of us to see who should head up this task force. I guess you acing that Peterson grill made it a done deal, and I can't say I blame the chief for that call. Rumors fly really easily, so I just wanted to reassure you that I'm fully on board right behind you. After all, the best leaders are also the best followers. I don't know how I feel about all that, but I guess we'll see. Okay, the first part of that is fine, except that seems a little bit patronizing. Let's just go with glad to hear it, Jen. Let's do good work, whoever's managing this. 10-4, boss, 10-4. My door is always open. Good to know. I'll be at my desk. I've been at it for a while now, and have managed to figure out what most keywords mean. It's hard to figure out specifics, but we have some broad findings. The folks in the chat room are just a wing of the whole operation, though. And I think I've stumbled on something big. The South Bank Mall, sometime today, the planting of a package in front of the Duthalon store. Apparently, they'll have someone there. I'm not sure what they're supposed to do, though. Tab says, we should have the place canvassed ASAP. Let's move. We have 3 suspects in custody. One of them could potentially be our perp. The only 3 we noticed to linger near the Duathlon store. I'm probably not saying that right at all. Okay, his head is like blocked by her hand. Mordecai says that is before the 3 of them got tangled up in an incident and we had to intervene. This is detailed in the file. I dropped it up on the way here. One of them is the one working on the Liberation Front's orders. Has to be. I've checked the chat room again. I now think we're dealing with a planted bomb. We're on the clock, boss. Lives are at stake. We need the explosive device's location. Oh, and I figured out when I was editing, the timed portions aren't like real time. It's just, it subtracts like 5 seconds or whatever every time you click a dialogue option. So we don't actually have to like rush. We just have limited clicks, if that makes sense. Let's see. Incident narrative. The only 3 people present at the location specified by the secret chat room conversation were brought in for immediate questioning. As our officers were arriving at the scene, 2 of the individuals found at the scene were involved in a conflict. Daniel Wilson, a security guard working within the commercial complex, forcefully apprehended Bakil Madonna and exposed that the latter individual carried a concealed firearm. The third individual, Samantha Lowe, was seen talking to Daniel Wilson by our agents as they were arriving at the scene just prior to the subsequent conflict between Wilson and Madonna. The chat room conversation revealed that at least one of these individuals was due to signal the successful planting of a timed bomb at a nearby location by being present and seen on the walkway. Experts estimate that the location of the bomb must be extracted within minutes if the bomb squad wants to disable the device in time. Okay. We have Daniel Wilson. Daniel Wilson is a retired Marine. He takes care of his ailing mother and struggles to keep up with the escalating medical bills. He was operating as a security guard at the location of the incident and is one of the 3 people at the scene who could have planted the bomb. He is the person who apprehended Bakil Madonna as he was attempting to leave the premises. Wilson appears to be a close friend of Samantha Lowe, who he was entertaining before getting involved in the incident with Madonna. Wilson frequently visits Christian conservative websites, is an active supporter of gun rights, and firmly opposed to political correctness. Okay, there's Samantha Lowe. Samantha Lowe is an interior decorator and animal rights activist. Engaged to be wed in a month, ISP enforced tracking shows that her IP has access to Liberation Front content pertaining to claims of oppression of man and beast. She was engaged in conversation with Daniel Wilson at the time of the incident and was one of the only 3 people at the scene. She has increased premiums on her bank debts, with the bank threatening to cash the mortgage on the flat she shares with her fiancé. Right now I'm most suspicious of her just because of the animal rights activists and the IP stuff. Okay. Then we have Bakil Madonna arrived in the country on a student visa 7 years ago. He enrolled to study materials engineering, but has no record of attendance after his 3rd year at the university. Past the visa's expiration date, he seems to have remained in the country illegally, likely working on the black market. There are very few official records of his activity since. He has been sending regular payments to bank accounts in his home country. He was one of the 3 people at the specified site. Within the developing situation, despite being summoned to not leave the premises, he attempted to flee. He was stopped and held by Daniel Wilson. Okay. Bring them in. Okay, so this is Daniel. Let's start with my file on you is incomplete. I have some questions. They nod slightly. You have my file? Okay. Any family I should have? They state in a neutral tone. Just my mom. She's probably worried why I'm not home right now. You live with your mother? They state with a tinge of sadness in their voice. Yes, I do. She's sick, so I take care of her. The medical bills must be expensive. They frown. I don't want to talk about that. Okay, let's change the topic. Why are you employed? They state in neutral tone, at the mall I work as a security guard. I read in the file that you're a former soldier? They state with nostalgia in their tone. Yes, I used to be with the Marine Corps. Why did you become a soldier? They state blankly, but with a slight smile. Duty to protect this great country and the things in it. So we could say, doesn't your sense of duty extend to the people that might hurt displaced by terrorism? They nod. Of course it does. Why aren't you in active duty anymore? They state with sadness in their voice. I asked to be pulled out. I couldn't be away anymore. Had to stay home. Okay, probably because of his mom. Did you work with explosives during your time in the military? They shrug. Yeah, grenades, C4, all sorts, basic training. Let's change the subject. Oh my gosh. Hello, Freya. My dog just walked in. Let's talk to her. Okay, she walked in and she walked out. I have some questions about you. They shift in their seat. Sure. Okay. Where are you employed? They state in a neutral tone. I work as a freelance interior decorator. Any family I should know of? They state simply, other than my fiance, my dad and his sister, no. Oh, that's creepy. Tell me about the incident at the mall. They shrug. With Danny and the guy? Okay. Why were you and Mr. Wilson on that floor? They shrug. I said he wanted to talk. He said he wanted to talk about something and confess. I think he said. We never got to it. Okay, I bet it's gonna be like he's gonna confess he had feelings for her. Even though she has like a fiance. Let's change the subject. There was a woman with you at the mall. Who was she? They fidget uncomfortably. Just someone I know from high school. She told me that you wanted to confess something to her. What was she talking about? They state blankly after pausing for a second. It really isn't important, and I am not comfortable talking about this. Okay, so we have to get him to open up more. What was she doing there? They shrug. Just happened to be passing through. Lies. Oh, so you know each other. Yeah, we were classmates. She helped me pass chemistry my senior year. What can you tell me about her? They shrug. Not much. Okay, let's talk to Bakil. Sorry if I mispronounced that name. I think that's how you say it. I don't know though. Let's fill in your file first. Tell me about yourself. They say hesitantly, like what? Any family I should know of? They state simply, none in the country. And back home? They state sadness in their voice. Just poor farmers. My uncle works in a department store. Do you send them money? They state sadness in their voice. When I can, so rarely. Let's change the subject. Where are you employed? They state simply, odd jobs, nothing official. How did you get into the country? It's gonna be a student visa. Yeah, now expired. Okay, I'm not going to contact immigration, but work with me here. They seem relieved. Thank you, I will. So how did you get into the country? Okay, I thought that was gonna change, but I guess not. What were you doing at the mall? They state simply, shopping, as people do. And the gun? They state blankly, I got it for defense. I have to live in a very dangerous neighborhood. Why did you run away from the security guard? They state with a bitter smile on their face, maybe because I had an illegal gun for my protection tucked away on me. Do you know the woman that was with the security guard? They frown and shrug. I had no idea which woman you're referring to. The guard grabbed me quite suddenly. Have you been in contact with the Liberation Front? They state simply, no, of course not. I only heard of them from the news. What do you think of them? They They state simply, they are what happens when a culture's dream becomes a nightmare. It's interesting. Seems accurate, I guess. Were you forced to cooperate with them? They shake their head briskly. No, they could never convince me to work with them. Okay. Okay. Let's talk about the man you apprehended. They state visibly annoyed. I hope you locked him up. What did you notice being suspicious about him? They state simply he was being shifty, just that look in his eyes. Don't you ever act on instinct? Okay, so I'm thinking with him, I don't necessarily agree with like this about how you should just like profile people and be prejudiced, but I think if we want him to open up, we're gonna have to say, like, you kidding? You think I read these papers? I follow my guts all the time, because I think we need him to open up. They smile, that's what I'm talking about. Why after your own and not call the police? They said simply, my training kicked in, I thought people were in danger. Okay, Samantha says Daniel called her to meet urgently, try to find out what was on Daniel's mind. Okay. Okay, this is what I really think, but we need to get on his good side. Well, good work, soldier. You got a bad guy. They nod, thank you. Okay, let's try and get him to open up about her now. What did you want to convince her? They said awkwardly, oh, that is nothing. I just wanted to ask her to lend me some money. Okay. Okay, so maybe we should figure out why he needs money. Have you heard of the Liberation Front? They ask they're a terrorist group, right? What do you think of them? They shrug, they're awful, right? Okay. Okay, I'm back. If you hear any like weird sounds in the background, it's my dad decided now is a really good time to get the countertops ready for my parents are having some people come in to their house to replace their countertops tomorrow, and so to save money they're like ripping out the old ones themselves, so you're doing it now, but hopefully you don't hear any of that. Anyway, so I was thinking we need to see what she knows about Daniel. Yeah, because he said like, oh, like I only was gonna ask her for money, like I only really knew her from high school, so maybe she has more to say about that. Tell me more about the incident at all. So you and Daniel know each other? Well, yes, of course, we went to high school together. Do you know anything suspicious? They shrug. I only noticed him when Danny had already pinned him down. Wow, okay. Have you heard about the Liberation Front? The state neutral tone, yeah, read something about them. What do you think of them? They shrug, they're a bunch of murderous psychos. What'd you say they stand for? They state simply, stand for, they're just anarchists, they stand for nothing. Oh, so we have like all of these. Okay, I feel like we should go with, they actually stand for equality, an absolute form of that. Isn't it a noble ideal? They seem annoyed. Yeah, I still don't get how mass murder is the same as equality. Okay, so maybe he doesn't actually have anything to do with them. It still wants us to figure out, were you forced to cooperate them? They shake their head quickly. No, what sort of question is that? About the men you apprehended. They say visibly annoyed. I hope you lock them up. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Do you know why you're here? I'm assuming it's about the guy I put down at the mall, right? It's about a related investigation with much bigger stakes. They state in a worried tone. What related investigation? It's classified. We suspect you might have crucial information. They nod. Oh, so you guys are spec ops. Understood. Ask away. Okay. Not the one who's with you at the mall. What did you want to confess to her? Just that she should forget about me if something happened. Oh. Daniel warned Samantha to get out of the mall, making him our prime suspect. Try to establish a motive for working with the Liberation Front. Okay. Right, okay. You living in the city? Born and raised at Lowe's Place. No other family than your mom. They say in a neutral tone, just a mom. As I said, medical bills for your mother's care must be expensive. They state with sadness in their voice. It adds up, yes, and her insurance doesn't cover most of them. I'm very sorry about your mother. It's always a shame when the innocent suffer. There's some regret in their voice. Yeah, worse things happen to random people. It just ain't fair. Isn't it hard covering those bills from a security guard's salary? They state with sadness in their voice. It is. They're not paying me much. I've spent most of my life savings, and even that's not enough. Okay, Samantha says Daniel called her to meet urgently. Try to find out what was on his mind. Some things just don't add up, Daniel. There is an eyebrow, like what? Can't deal with your mom's bills, and you're worried something might happen to you. Were you forced to sell out to the bad guys, Danny? They shake their head in distress, looking away. I didn't. I don't know. Nah. Come on, Danny. Did the Liberation Front pressure you into doing something bad to save your mom? They look away, face flushed. No, I wouldn't. But I can't let my mom croak either, you know? Okay, so it's still gonna... Yeah. I don't know what a good question to ask is now. Has anything opened up with any of them? My file on you is incomplete. Where'd you say you played? Told you security guard at the mall. Okay, great. Do you see her as a burden? And of course not. She's my mother. See, I guess it would be problematic for her if you went to jail, am I right? The state visibly concerned. No, you can't do that. She'll die if she doesn't get her medication. So about the Liberation Front, what do you know about them? We forced to cooperate them. Oh, what sort of question is that? Stand for they're just in a court. Okay, I don't think we're gonna get it this time around. Like, I think we're gonna have to do this again. Where are you when Mr. Wilson family? Okay, so we should have talked to her. I sit with remorse in the voice. No, his mother was very sick and he didn't socialize that much. Didn't interfere with schooling. They sit with sadness in their voice. Yeah, I tried to help him with schoolwork, but he had to work a job too since her insurance didn't cover her cancer treatment. Yeah. We're gonna have to do this again. Yeah. Wow. That is really dark. Very dark. Okay, so we need to talk to Danny and then get the information from that girl about how he was struggling in school and like they were family friends and stuff. My file on you is incomplete, and your family I should know of. You live with your mother. Medical bills must be expensive. Where are you employed? The mall I work as a security guard. I read in the file that you're a former soldier. They say with nostalgia in their tone. Yeah, I used to be with the Marine Corps. Why did you become a soldier? Duty to protect this great country and the things in it. Doesn't your sense of duty extend to the people that might hurt? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, of course it does. Did you work with explosives during your time in the military? Yeah, basic training. There was a woman with you at the mall. Okay, just someone I know from high school. So you know each other? They nod. Yeah, we were classmates. She helped me pass chemistry my senior. What was she doing there? Just happened to be passing through. Not really, but okay. I have some questions about you. You're okay. Were you and Mr. Wilson family friends when you were teens? No, his mother was very sick and he didn't socialize that much. Oh, didn't interfere with schooling? Yeah, I tried to help him with schoolwork, but he had to work a job too since our insurance didn't cover cancer treatment. Where are you employed? I work as a freelance interior decorator. Are you living in the city? Yes, with my fiance. Tell me about the incident at the mall. Why were you with him? He said he wanted to confess something, and now we need to get him to say. She told me that you wanted to confess something to her. What was that about? It really is important, and I'm not comfortable talking about this. Okay, so now we have to get him to open up. Do you know why you're here? It's about your stakes. What related investigation? You might have crucial information. So you guys are special ops. Understood. Ask away. About the woman who was with you at the mall. What did you want to confess? Oh, that it was nothing. I just wanted to ask her to lend me some money. And we still know that's not the real one. Let's talk about the man you apprehended. Why act on your own? Well, good work, soldier. You got a bad guy. Thank you. Okay, so now he will probably tell us. What did you want to confess to her? Oh my gosh. Have you heard about the Liberation Front? Yeah, I read something about them. We were forced to cooperate with them. Now, what kind of question is that? What do you think of them? They're a bunch of murder psychos. What would you say it stands for? They should stand for personal freedom. Absolute form of it. Isn't that a noble ideal? Freedom's great, but they don't deserve. They don't care about anyone's freedom. Do you understand why you're here? You're living in the city. Born and raised, I love this place. So no family other than your mom? Samantha told me about your mother's condition and that you were having some insurance problems. They state with sadness in their voice. It's true, I'm doing the best I can, everything in my power. Very sorry about your mother, it's always a shame when the innocent suffer. There's some regret in their voice. Yeah, worse things happen to random people, it just ain't fair. Okay, so maybe now we can ask about Samantha. That she should just forget about me if something happened. Great. Danny warned Samantha to get out of the mall, making him our prime suspect. Try to establish a motive for working with the Liberation Front. So about the Liberation Front. Were you forced to cooperate though? Okay. Man, I don't know what to ask. Did anything come up? by yourself. Okay, I don't know if that's gonna be any help. Like, I don't think he has, like, anything to do with it, really. About the man you apprehended. What did you notice being suspicious about him? Smile, that's what I'm talking about. What do you think of them? I told you it's just a... What do you say it stands for? We're getting nowhere really fast. Well, the motive would be his mom, right? Like... So you don't work at the shop. Okay. So no family other than your mom. Told you just my mom. I understand you live with your mother. I just said to her she's sick, so take care of her. Okay, there we go. Some things just don't add up, Daniel. Can we get more information now? You forced to cooperate with them. No, what sort of question is that? Oh my gosh. Okay. Moving to the city. Man. I just don't know. What do you think of them? They look away in some distress. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Okay, I'm gonna have to repeat this. Probably just gonna fast forward until we get to that conversation tree again, where he starts talking about being close to her and stuff. Okay, so we got to a point where we got him to tell us about like his motive and the means of him like knowing explosive stuff. So it says Daniel warned Samantha to get out of the mall, and his mother's medical situation makes him vulnerable to blackmail. Make him trust you or scare him into a confession. Some things just don't add up, Daniel. So you and Daniel know each other. Tell me about her. I'm getting the impression you're very close to her. Am I right? Maybe, whatever. She's engaged, has a good life, don't want to mess that up. The one that got away, huh? They state clearly, but with sadness in their voice. She deserves a good life. I'm not going to mess with that. You said you know each other from high school. Yeah, classmates, high school. Were you forced to cooperate with them? What do you think they stand for? They actually stand for personal freedom. Equality. Hmm. Okay. Okay, not much. It was really nothing. I just wanted some help with something. Nothing important. She's great. A shame most girls aren't like that. Okay, maybe now? Were you forced to cooperate them? No, what sort of question is that? I don't know. Okay, so I just asked him, straight asked him that question, and he said, I had to. I'm sorry, they forced me. Look, if this is about your mom, I promise I'll make sure she's taken care of. I swear on my badge. Fine, see to her, please. The IED is on the 5th floor, Shallow's Bits store, 3rd dressing room on the right. We cut that to the wire. Oh my gosh. Wow. Evacuation started as soon as possible. When the bomb squad reached the device, we still had plenty of people to evacuate. We successfully disarmed the device in time, saving dozens of lives. Whoa. Is that a different one? Then the news started coming in from all around the city. Oh. Oh no. 2 other explosions happened close to the same time. Ours was set to dozens of casualties. I wonder if you could avoid that if you, like, talk to the other 2 people, like if they're all involved or something. That's not good. Continuing our investigation into the group known as the Liberation Front, the Truth and Order Special Unit apprehended and questioned several suspects identified through Liberation Front online chat rooms. These suspects have been linked to I mean, I feel like these are basically the same thing. Let's go with just potential terrorist activity. Daniel Wilson, male, 27, a security guard, has confessed his involvement and has been arrested, awaiting prosecution. At this point, we are working under the assumption that he was part of a larger terrorist cell. Okay, I want to change this if we're just going to mention the terrorist part here. Former Marine, his criminal acts were motivated by blackmail and threats made against his family by the front. Oh, that's the truth. Okay, at the time of his arrest, oh. We were not aware of other... Okay, well, I feel like we have to tell the truth, even if it doesn't, like, look good. We were not aware of other potential bombs being placed. We are doing everything possible to neutralize other threats that may be active at this time and ask the public to... Probably just inform us of any suspicious activity. Sorry, boss. Why are you apologizing? It's not like it's your fault. Or ours. I know, it's just... I feel like we're somehow responsible. Well, we are the department charged with stopping the people who did these very acts. So we certainly have some responsibility, if not all of it. Okay, I think these are just gonna, like, decrease morale. Trying to stop murderers, that doesn't make us in any way responsible for the murderers. Which I agree with, but I still don't know if that's gonna, like, motivate them. I don't know. Good evening, everyone. We need the room, please. I have someone here from City Hall to talk to you. Greetings, Detective. My name is Tristan Miller. I assist Mayor Patel. I've been discussing things with Chief Anderson for a few hours now, but I wanted to directly address you two. These deaths, obviously, they don't look good for any of us. We're relying on your task force to end what is surely the greatest threat to this city, this liberation front. Can we count on your team to achieve this, to make the city safe again? We may need more resources to have any chance of dealing with them. Very well, we'll supplement your next budget with some additional funds. He did not look pleased with that answer about the additional resources. He's like, okay, well then, that little face. Find the guys doing this as soon as possible. Consider it done. I'll get my team right on it. Oh, they both like that. Cool. Pick an old memory. Ah, so we can pick one of the old ones or one of these new ones. So we have Scholar of Anatomy. You know how to make your subjects endure more physical punishment before they pass out. Me hurt you long time. Framin's Artist. You've mastered the... Oh, framing. I feel so dumb. Okay, that looked like an S, okay, on this one. Framing Artist. You have mastered the cruel practice of framing your subjects for crimes they have not committed. You can press the accusations to your advantage. I'm not sure about that. Let's go with, like, Profiler. This one shows you, here, reading, reactions, and emotional states is assigned to you. You have an exact evaluation in numbers of how fearful and empathetic the subjects are. Actually, no, I want Speed Demon. You have more time to interrogate, but cannot access files during or before interrogations. Cool. So we want to do that. We could order an extended PR report. Let's give our agents a bonus. That'll increase morale. Give the agent going on the Pursue Informer mission extra budget to help motivate those that may hold information. Maybe that. Let's do PR assistance. Okay, so we definitely need someone to do the Pursue Informer. Yeah. And none of them have a good chance of it. Wow. She has the best one, so I guess we'll put her out there and have her try. Oh, let me double check. Sometimes these lines kind of confuse me. Yeah. Okay, what does he have the best chance at? Not a lot. Consult experts in the explosive forensic department on the likely materials that were used in the bomb, track murder weapon, go to the field, and try to track down the origin of Peterson's weapon. I think we'll send him to do that, and then he's the best chance of doing by the book. Okay. Hey, boss. I'm going to meet the others at Hannigan's. Try to get our minds off this craziness for a couple of hours before it all starts again tomorrow. Want to join? Sure, lead the way. Later that night. Oh, Isn't this jazzy? Psh, no way, Louis. Okay, one second. The 16th was a victim. I think that's the 16th because that's 10, 5, and 1. Had an uncle named Louis. There was nothing royal about that man. I'm just saying that he was caught between the pressures of the nobility and nah, I'm sticking to my pigs. Kiss Emma Kay, marry Lionheart, kill Louis the 16th, definitely. Well, I'm confident Richie will make you many, many murderous Crusader babies. Murderous Crusader babies has a ring to it. Boss's turn. Alright, let's see. Kiss, marry, kill, Lincoln, Gandhi, and Thatcher. Yes, Margaret Thatcher. Okay, that might be a little dark. I think, oh, I have to kiss the Iron Lady. Oh no! So we have to kill one of these people. Marry Lincoln, and unfortunately kill Gandhi. Martyrdom might do wonders for his cause. Okay. Next round's on me. Alright, they all seemed okay with that answer set. Oof. Okay, we're back from looking into one of the explosions. Office building, triggered after hours, still 8 dead and 20 in the hospital. No relevant witnesses off the bat. We've spoken to the explosive forensics, and it's like this. The big boom took place on the 13th floor. A large quantity of explosive material would have been required. That floor was closed, unpopulated. It was set to be refurbished in the coming months. We're going to head out again, canvass for witnesses, see if we can find any surveillance. Cool. So we got 2 successes this time. That's pretty good. Okay, we haven't reached out to her, but we've got a lead on a girl whose boyfriend might be involved with the Liberation Front. We can try to convince her to talk to us. And then the chief called in to say that they appreciated the balanced books we keep. And then the track's gold, we weren't able to find the consortium. We could keep trying. Okay, so we're still right in the middle. The press still is more in favor of us. And then our authorities' approval went down a little bit. Okay, Freedom Fighters. Exclusive interview with former LF member. Liberation Front member. Continuing our series on the so-called Liberation Front, we've done our best to track down anyone that might be able to give a first-hand account of what dealing with the Liberation Front is like. You can beat people, but you can't beat the ideas out of their heads. That's why the Liberation Front will never be beaten. That is the gloomy conclusion of the young 20-something liberator after a brief interview. Eric is a former sleeper agent, an agent that has pledged his loyalty to the cause and is a supporter but has not yet received an order to carry out an operation. Okay, so they spoke through text messages, very eloquent in his responses, and with a surprisingly analytical way of looking at his situation. Eric does not give the impression of a fanatical warrior, but rather a student activist arguing his case. Oh, what did he say here too? There isn't a clear hierarchy. It's more okay, I can't say that right now. Than that, I think deliberately to make you feel part of this organic movement. You don't have some leader you have to salute or bow down before, and no one gave me orders, and that felt good, you know? It makes you really own up to what you do, like you're the fire of the whole thing. Okay. So they're using propaganda to tap into what people want. Eric says he's no longer part of the Liberation Front due to his ideological differences. But he says he still resonates with them strongly. Once you cut through their pretty words, you can see they are just influencing you towards their own ends. But at the end of the day, they are not wrong, are they? Look at the rich, look at the powerful, then look at you and me and our paycheck. Look at some poor single mother struggling to put food on the table while a rich idiot stuffs his face in some polluting boat on the money he inherited. Really makes you want to do something about it. Okay, so in their final thing is the question remains, what does the Liberation Front plans to see? Your HI report. Motivation level is moderate for everyone. Oh, I didn't even know we had like... Whoa. So we have more Pages. After joining the FBI, the following case was placed under their authority, now sealed and archived. Martha Hugh was found at her house washing a bloody knife. Her husband's body was discovered in the trunk of her car, wrapped in towels. During her trial, Martha Hugh's lawyer pleaded insanity, although no past behavior or family history would indicate that, except for clear evidence of domestic violence. Jennifer conducted an interview and she confirmed severe psychological instability. Okay, so that's just more about them. At the age of 18, he was involved in an armed robbery attempt targeting a local corner shop. The robbery was stopped by the intervention of an off-duty police officer who was shopping there at the time, and the 3 teenagers involved fled the scene, dropping the weapon. The gun was later traced as belonging to Mordecai's father, but the other 2 could not be identified. The prosecutor involved offered Mordecai a deal, full immunity if he agreed to identify his conspirators and to stand witness against them in court. He accepted. No records of his arrest exist in his public record. Member of the Omega Delta Phi fraternity, several records of public disturbance, public drinking, and one account of public nudity involving riding a horse, removed from his records when joining the task force. Great. Okay, and that's still confidential. Okay. So we have some good news and some bad news. Good news is they had elevator cameras. They're set to take pictures after each press of a button. There seems to have been a single press to go the 13th floor. Oh, excuse me. Bad news is they weren't stored digitally but printed. Crazy old school security manager. And the picture corresponding to the button press we're interested in was missing, of course. Foul play likely. But after several hours of trash digging, pardon if I smell, I was able to track down these scraps. I brought them with me. So now we get to do like a little puzzle. There we go. Yay! We did it. We got this lovely picture. Awesome, awesome, awesome. This is what we're looking for. Find them, bring them to me. We've tracked down the people in the picture. We've brought them in. We have them in the interrogation rooms. We have a sales specialist working in the building, a priest that runs the humanities charity, and their assistant protege. The case file is ready. Very interesting group of people. Okay. Oh, we don't have like dossiers on them? Thank you for agreeing to a few of our questions. They nod briefly. No problem. Questions about what? We just have a few questions about the explosion in the office building you worked in. They nod thoughtfully. It was quite the tragedy. What happened, I mean, not the questions. I do have a few more personal questions. They nod. Sure. Any family wish to notify that you are with us? They shift in their seat and shake their head. Well, my mother, she'll be fine. It's fine. Are you sure you don't want us to tell your mother that you're here? They shift in their seat and shake their head. Okay. You live in the city. They sigh gently. Yes, moved in. Came here a few years ago for work. Where do you work? They shrug. Well, nowhere right now. I mean, I used to work in the office building that blew up, but it blew up. It's a good reason, I guess. What is it you do? They shrug. I'm in sales manager. Used to be, at least. Not sure where the company stands right now. What does a sales manager do? They shrug and then start explaining. I coordinate different sales efforts. I assign sales territories, set quotas, organize and mentor the sales team, assign sales training, write sales plans. I guess it is similar to being a manager in any other field. Did you enjoy your work? No, not really. I don't think about it like that. Money is money. I'm good at sales and I get to focus on my passions the rest of the time. That's fair. Hey, if you're the kind of person, and I feel like this, is that you don't live to work, you work to live, and working gives you the means to do all the rest of the stuff you want to do outside of that, like, that's perfectly fine. A lot of people feel like that, I think. Okay. Did you spot anyone suspicious from the other floors or staff? No, I mean, there was this janitor that was stealing soap, but they fired him. Did any coworkers seem suspicious to you in any way? They checked thoughtfully, just a couple of run-of-the-mill sexual harassers, but probably not terrorists. How can sexual harassers be run-of-the-mill? That doesn't usually happen in offices. They sigh and shake their head. What planet do you live on? Because I want to go there. Going a month without being sexualized, propositioned, or hearing just joking. Sexism is a rare blessing. I do feel like a jerk for saying that, because she has a point. You tolerate your job because it gives you the money to pursue your passions. Would you like to talk to me about them for a second? They shrug. Well, I don't see how they're in any way relevant to this investigation. I mean, I don't think they are anything special. I like what everyone likes, hanging out with friends, traveling, a bit of martial arts, a bit of art. So you said you like traveling. Any favorite destinations? Officer, how is this in any way related to our investigation? Can we please go back to more relevant topics? I'm sorry. Wait, what? We didn't ask her anything about her romantic situation. I assume by this point you know about the Liberation Front. They excel in dissatisfaction. They claimed the attack, yes. Do you know what they stand for? Stand for, like, anti-establishment, right? They actually stand for personal freedom, an absolute form of it. Isn't that a noble ideal? They frown and shake their head. Well, if it includes the freedom to blow things up, then no, not too noble. What do you think about the ideals of the front? They're shifting their seat. Sounds like excuses to do evil to me. Were you forced to work with them? They shake their head. No, they never approached me. I didn't think they would. I mean, force me into it. Okay. The way she said that was a little weird. Think they would. And then, I mean, in commas. Like, that was an afterthought. It's clear you planted the bomb, Alex. Hello, Mr. Nowak. Thank you for agreeing to answer a few questions. You're welcome. I think your input will be very useful in our investigation. Thinking is very important, just in regular amounts. Some questions about the explosion. There's a thoughtful pause between the answers. It was how the universe began. Oh, not that one. Yeah, sure, ask. Where were you when the explosion happened? They frown a bit. In the car, I think. We, heard about it on the radio. On the radio. Do you know why anyone might have chosen that specific building? They shrug. Because of the poor structural design? How do you know it had poor structural design? That's what the architect said when he was talking to Father Gabriel about redoing the floor for you Humanitas. Which is what a hoodie he was wearing, I think, actually. That's what he said. They smile. Yeah, I've been thinking about that since the explosion. Makes sense, doesn't it? You're onto something, but who might be part of this conspiracy? They state with enthusiasm. It had to be someone with access, motive, and possibly delusions of power. Someone really should get a team to investigate this. Did anyone you know get hurt in the explosion? They peer all around with daring glances. No, they missed us this time. Bad coordination on their part. Why would anyone want Father Gabriel dead? They pondered before answering. Yeah, that makes no sense. Kill him and he goes to heaven, so he's covered, right? Why would anyone want you dead? They shake their head. That's the part I'm still trying to figure out, man. Do you think they were targeting you specifically? They nod violently. Yeah, they were after me. They messed up their timing, but not by much. Half an hour earlier and I'd be toast. Okay. I don't think it's him. He seems way too into it. From like a conspiracy standpoint, thinking like he was being targeted and stuff. Hello, Mr. Adams. Thank you for agreeing to answer a few questions. I smile softly. Please call me Father Gabriel, or just Gabriel. How can I help you? By telling me why you murdered hundreds of people by placing a bomb on the 13th floor. Just a few questions to help us clarify some elements of this bombing situation. Nothing too hard. They joined their hands, looking up for a few seconds. What a terrible tragedy that was. I'll do everything I can. God forgive those souls. I don't know if he's referencing, like, the people who blew up the building or the people who died, but either way, like, it's probably, I don't know. Saying that about people who died is, like, awful. Terrible. I understand you are the leader of a charity, Humanitas. Excuse me. They nod. I'm glad you've heard of us. The support we've received has been a blessing. Of course, who better to lead charitable efforts than a priest? They smile. Charity is a virtue which, when our affections are properly ordered, unites us with God. Through it, we love Him. What does your charity do? They explain in a laid-back fashion. We try to help those struck by misfortune and put them on a path of self-improvement. How did Alex get into contact with your charity? Well, it is actually a funny story. We were doing an outreach effort into a poor neighborhood, effectively a large and free buffet. Alex came to us with a boot and a pot, saying that he also wanted to help. His warm soul fought his inner demons even then, before receiving any support. What type of help do you usually offer to your disenfranchised recipients? Well, anything that they might require. We have a very case-by-case approach where we try to truly help each individual rather than having ineffective programs that target the masses without actually making any meaningful change, as any good pastor does to his flock. What vulnerable groups do you target? Are the mentally ill one of them, or is Alex, I don't know if we should say that. They nod. Okay. Who are your main donors? They shake their head. Our donations are anonymous, as I'm sure you understand. I'm sorry. I have a few more personal questions, and I'll be happy to answer them. How long have you been preaching here in town? They smiled and sighed. 6 years now. How the time flies. Any family we should notify that you are with us? They nod gently. I already told my wife I'll be home late tonight. It's fine. Thank you for the thought. What's your view on religion, Father? They nod with certainty. It's the ultimate human virtue. Our ability to worship is what elevates us from cattle. What made you turn to religion? They think a while before answering. I am sure that you, of all people, understand the wickedness humans are capable of. It hides in all of us. Only through God's grace can the worthy few be saved. I don't know. Ask questions about the explosion. They shrug. I'm afraid I wasn't near it when it happened, so I know very little. Where were you when it happened? They sigh and shake their head. I was in my car with Alex. Someone called to tell me about the tragedy. Alex said the news came up on the radio. They frowned for a second, then nod. Did he? Oh yes, that's right. Alex says the architects told you the building had poor structural integrity, and that's why it was chosen. Their eyes seem to focus on the table. It is not for us to question why these terrible tragedies happen. God will smite those whose wickedness harmed innocent souls. Are you sure you do not have any idea why someone would choose that building? Well, he did mention that, but I am certain an explosion such as that one could have knocked down any building. Only God could know where such tragedies fit within his plan, and it is his duty to smite the wicked that harm the innocents. So maybe he has like a God complex where he thinks it's like his job to smite the wicked. Did anyone you know get hurt in the explosion? They make a small gesture of prayer. I've previously met with some executives that work there. I pray they are safe. have some questions about some of the other people. If I know them, I'll do my best to answer. Was there anyone else on the 13th floor with you? They shake their head. No, the workers were not there that day. Alex was with me. Oh, and there was this woman there smoking in the lobby. Let's talk about this woman. I doubt she had anything to do with any of this. What impression did she give you? They sigh. She just seemed bored with her job, officer, or tired by it. Sneaking away to smoke on an empty floor. So juvenile. Did you talk about anything with her? On the elevator or on the floor? Just a little, the usual small talk, nothing remarkable. What did she do on the 13th floor? She sat on a box in the lobby and smoked a cigarette, her eyes into those Satan windows that smartphones are. Alright, Satan windows. Okay. Let's talk about Alex. He's such a special boy and he has come so far. What's your impression of him after the time you spent together? He nods deeply, voice full of warmth. Officer, if you could imagine but a fraction of what he's been through, you would admire him as much as I do. Did he say anything suspicious in the elevator when you were on the 13th floor? They shrug and smile. Who, Alex? I agree he does sometimes say strange things, but that cannot be held against him. What did he do on the 13th floor? I don't think he did anything. He just waited for me in the lobby. Soon by this point you know about the Liberation Front. They shake their head. Their only redeeming quality is their conviction. So sad it is so misplaced. Do you know what they stand for? They tilt their head and shrug. Politics, as I understand it. They actually stand for personal freedom. Absolute form of it, isn't that a noble ideal? They frown. Personal freedom is important to reach one's full potential, but people today are using freedom as an excuse to wrong themselves without moral consequences. Were you forced to work with them? They shake their head. No, I was never contacted. Even so, my convictions are immutable to such pressures. Okay, I kind of think we need to talk to her. I really doubt Alex was the one who did anything, but we'll see. I'd like to talk to you about some other people, such as, let's talk about that janitor. They shrug. Sure, but they fired him half a year ago. What impression did he give you? They shrug. I didn't really talk to him, but we all knew he was stealing soap. Was he angry with getting fired? They shrug. I guess no one likes getting fired. Have you seen him after he was fired? They tilt their head in confusion. Well, I saw him downstairs a few weeks ago talking with some guys, old co-worker friends, I think. Okay, so maybe he was the guy telling Gabriel about the structural integrity of the building that Alex overheard. Just try and find out what reasons each suspect gives for being on 13th floor. Okay. Soon by this point, you know about the Liberation Front. They tilt their head. No, who's that? They're the people who put up the bomb, Alex. They nod with a sad frown. Oh, them. I know them. Right. Do you know what they stand for? They giggle. I think they do most of their work sitting down. Alright, fair. They actually stand for personal freedom, absolute form of it. Isn't that a noble ideal? They sigh. I too wish to be free, to be allowed to be what I want to be on the basis of wanting to be that which I am to be. Alright. How do you feel about their aggressive means of pushing their agenda? Man, I really don't want to think about that. Screw that. We're forced to work with them. They crack their knuckles under the table. They don't have the kind of kilonewtons needed to make me work for them. Some more questions for you. Should we notify any family that you're with us now? They smile. No need for that. I know my way home. Are you employed? They smile. I'm on medical leave, officer. I'll get back to work soon. Why do your friends call you Alex or... Oh, what do your friends call you, Alex or not? They nod. They used to call me Bob, but I don't go by that anymore. Are you feeling alright? You seem confused. They smile. I'm a bit thirsty. I also suffer from several psychological conditions. Oh, I didn't know. I'd like to understand your condition before we move on. They answer in a calm tone. Then or now. Let's talk about then, I guess. They nod. Then is important to talk about, even if it hurts. When did it start manifesting? They shake their head. I first heard the birds when I was 12. The woman came later when I was 18. Who is the woman? She went away for good. Who are the birds? They are not anymore for the most part. What symptoms did you have? They think for a while before answering. They talked, and I listened too much. They were very distracting. I couldn't focus. So he had, like, schizophrenia. How did you live with your condition? They looked down. I kept breathing. I focused on that, and eating. That was important too. How did you deal with it? They smiled. I didn't. Father Gabriel's charity dealt with it. Okay, I have some more questions for you. Right now is what I'm interested in. They nod. The now is all because of Father Gabriel's charity. It wouldn't be the now it is without that. She enrolled in the Humanitas program. You know, Father Gabriel enrolled me. I didn't see the point, but he insisted. What sort of treatment did you receive at this charity? They answer with a very visible cadence. Coordinated specialty care. Could you elaborate on what that means? They nod. It means that someone talks to you, then someone gives you the pills, and someone else is your friend. Okay, so it wants us to attempt to confront him about this, not giving us concrete answers. Did the symptoms ameliorate or disappear completely? They smile. It made everything quieter, and quiet helps me to stay focused. It's good. How long were you under treatment? It never stops. In my second year now. Is religion the main focus of Humanitas? They raise an eyebrow. It's led by a priest. What do you think? Are you religious, Alex? They shrug. I've got enough to worry about in this life without worrying about the next one, you know? Do they try to convert people? They frown. I mean, they're not shoving Bibles down people's throats, if that's what you mean. But it is led by a priest. Alex, we have a video of you taking the elevator to the floor where the bomb was placed. They give a suspicious look. I'm glad the drones are still working. I just need your help understanding what went on there. They nod. I'm relaxed. Maybe you should relax. I'm here to help you understand. Alright, Alex. Is there anyone else on that floor? They frown. There was this woman. She was smoking, sitting on a pile of concrete sacks. Try to remember, other than the woman, was there anyone else on that floor? They shake their head. I don't remember anyone else. Why did you stop on the 13th floor? They smiled. The elevator stopped there because that's the button Father Gabriel pressed. Elevators are cool. Did you see anything out of the ordinary? They smile. I try not to see extraordinary things, really. What did you do while you were on that floor? They shrug. I looked around. I played with some small concrete pieces on the floor for a bit. Not much, honestly. So, you know how Gabriel's lying about Alex waiting in the car? Because he says he was there with him. A few more personal questions. We have a video of you taking the elevator to the floor where the bomb was placed. Their eyes widen in surprise. The bomb was in our future headquarters? Who would target a charity? You see why we think your help would be invaluable in understanding what happened. They nod eagerly. Absolutely. I'll try to remember any relevant detail. Why did you stop on the 13th floor? They arranged their collar. I was there to inspect if the renovations were on schedule. There were a few delays in the past. Did you see anything out of the ordinary? They shake their head. I'm sorry, but no, I spotted nothing unusual. What did you do while you were on that floor? They sigh. I assessed the status of the renovations for our future offices, officer. I wasn't there very long. There was little to look at. Who were you with in the elevator? They answered in a calm voice. Alex was with me and a woman. She probably worked in the building. Okay, so now he said Alex is with him. Some questions about the other people. Some questions about Alex. Okay, yeah, he just waited for me in the lobby, not the car. I understand you admire Alex deeply. He nods deeply, voice full of warmth. Have a few more personal questions. Actually, Miss Clark, we have a video of you taking the elevator to the floor where the bomb was placed. They tilt their head and frown slightly and thought, huh, they said the terrorists weren't targeting our company specifically. Oh, you mean the 13th floor? Because you were there, we hope you could help us understand what happened. Well, I didn't see much. I mean, there wasn't much to see, you know? Let's talk about some of the other people. Was there anyone else with you? Nobody I knew, just some priests and some guy looking around. Let's talk about the priest. Sure, what about him? What impression did he give you? They shrug. He seemed nice, I mean, dignified and all that. He had a nice voice too, very soothing. Did she talk about anything? They shrugged. Not really. I mean, other than that he talked some. Gave me a little speech about how smoking kills you. Did he also stop on the 13th floor? They blinked for a few seconds and nod. Yeah, we all did. I mean, we didn't plan on it. It just happened. Interesting. Let's talk about this other guy. Sure, whatever you say. What impression did he give you? They nod thoughtfully. He seemed really sad. He looked at the priest all the time like a puppy would. Okay, interesting. Did you talk about anything? They think for a second and shrug. Not really. I just caught him telling the priest, I hope they like me, or something like that. Broke my heart for all of 5 seconds. Okay, so we need to talk to Alex and maybe Gabriel about who they are in the sentence. Did he also stop on the 13th floor? Yeah, I told you he did. He stopped there with his priest buddy. Some questions about the 13th floor. We need to ask about they. Some questions about other people. Okay, questioning people, questions about people. You're really a people's person. Listen, there was a woman there. Was there a woman there smoking? They smile. Yeah, Father Gabriel gave her the "your body is your temple" sermon. I have some questions about that woman. They narrow their eyes and thought, I didn't think it was legal that she was smoking indoors. What impression did she give you? They frown. I don't like smokers. Did you talk to her on the elevator or on the floor? They nod. No, I'm sure of that. I made sure to look if her mouth was moving. So you say you didn't talk to her? They nod. No, I'm sure. Okay, whatever. What did she do on the 13th floor? They frowned. She sat somewhere and polluted the place with her stupid smoke. I have some questions about Father Gabriel. They look away to the empty corner. Yeah, what about him? Who were you referring to when you were telling the priest you hope people like you? We were going to meet some people in nice suits and ask them for money. So donors. Those are the donors that came up as a conversation choice with Gabriel. Questions about your charity. Do you think it's morally right to drag Alex from interview to interview just to boost your donations? They frown. How dare you? I will need you to tell me who your main donors are. Officer, I'm sorry, but without a warrant, I will not be able to disclose this kind of information. Questions about the Liberation Front. Were you forced to work with them? They shake their head. No, I was never contacted. Blah, blah, blah. A few more personal questions. Yeah, it says Alex Nowak hasn't been giving any concrete answers. Attempt to convert. Okay, so we need to ask him about why he hasn't been upfront. Okay, you've done nothing but evade my questions. It's clear you have something to hide. They lower their gaze and twitch. Oh, that makes me really sad. Our emotions are the devil's gateway. Lock them up, chain them up, and you chain your demons, Alex. Oh. That sounds like crazy talk from, Gabriel. The nanobots have reached your brain by this point. You have no choice but to comply. Oh. I don't want to say that. I feel you have answers, Alex. Answers that can save lives, that can prevent tragedies like that explosion. Clap once, slouching as their demeanor changes. Death is not something we run from. It is something we crawl towards. Seems Alex Nowak cracked under pressure. He might let slip something useful. More questions about some other people. They mutter with staggered cadence. Think of yourself before thinking about other people. Some questions about you? You! Let's talk about the Liberation Front for a bit. They mutter with unnatural speaking cadence. Even the devil, unknowingly, does God's work. What do you think about the ideals they are fighting for? They look all around, nodding to various patches of air. Many strong, independent voices, each demanding attention, but they all want something new. How do you feel about their aggressive means of pushing their agenda? They shrug each shoulder alternatively a few times. I think if you believe in something good, you should do everything for it. Should you even hurt people? They straighten wide-eyed, but soon darken again. No, no, but you have to fight the good fight, and evildoers will get in your way to try to stop you. Do you think what they want is good? They narrow their eyes. Father Gabriel says the flood was good because it came from God. The new flood will be his will as well. Okay, Alex hinted that Gabriel Adams holds extreme views about the second flood. Confirmed him with these personal views. Great. A few more personal questions. Okay. Alex tells me you believe we are about to face a new biblical flood. Look around at how things are going. What do you think? Okay, I think we need to get on his good side, even if we don't think this is what's, actually happening. I believe you're right. We're burning our bridges. They nod in excitement. Just so, officer. The devil has taken deep roots, but do not lose hope. God will extend us a helping hand, give us a fresh start. How do you envision this flood? Literally rain? They lean in, explaining, no, of course not. That is metaphorical. A cataclysmic chain of events that will wipe out the entrenched corruption wherever it is, followed by a process of renewal and spiritual enlightenment. What makes you think God is preparing to burn the place down? They join their hands, looking up. The signs are there. It won't be long now. The few chosen ones must prepare the grounds for the rebirth. That sounds, like a lot. What would this new world look like? They smile. Ah, a world where the word of God easily reaches everyone. A virtuous world of peace and love. Our children will build this promised land. Okay, we know the priest's zealotry might give us his motive, but perhaps Alex can tell us more about the means. A question about other people. Okay, I have some questions about the explosion. Their darting eyes glance at random points of the room. The walls have eyes. We have to rip them out in order to be free. So you say the building was chosen because of the poor structural design. They whisper while staring with intensity. Free will and destiny are not mutually exclusive. We do what we must because we choose so. What did you choose to do, Alex? They shiver and seem to be depicting someone else's voice. The man should give you 3 gallons. Make sure it says nitromethane on them. Bring them over, but don't shake them too hard. Okay, so Gabriel got him to do his dirty work. Alex hinted that Gabriel Adams ordered potential raw explosive materials. Confirmed about this. Okay, Father, why was Alex buying nitromethane? They blink repeatedly as they answer, what? Did he tell you that? Okay, how about he did, but he couldn't remember why he bought it? Perhaps you know. A bit of sweat is visible on their forehead. Oh yes, I remember now. It was for my model airplanes. I make my own fuel, you know? A guilty pleasure of mine. I sent Alex to pick it up for you. Send Alex to... I don't remember. I might have done that sometimes. I must have been busy. Should I ask Alex about any other errands he's doing for you? They smile while sweat runs down their forehead. Don't stress the poor boy. He does a lot for Humanitas. You understand. Better if you don't push him too hard. Gabriel Adams preaches about an impending second flood and bought raw explosive materials. It's time to confront him. Okay, cool. Gabriel, if you had anything to do with this bombing, you need to tell me now. Confession absolves the soul, as you know. Officer, please do not jump to rash conclusions. Do you accuse of terrorism any individual who purchases flammable materials and has the misfortune of being in your presence? I am a man of God. I have dedicated my life to saving people. How could you think I would be capable of such an act? Ooh. We only get one choice, too. Drop it. I have you on record claiming the apocalypse is coming, as well as other extremist views. I also have you confessing to ordering the purchase of extremely flammable materials, claiming they are for a hobby that you cannot approve you have. On top of all these, I have evidence that you inquired particularly into the structural integrity of the building. And that is only what I got from you and Alex up until now. They raise their voice in distress. It's not the apocalypse, it's the new flood. Another chance to get things right, to do it properly this time. Ooh. Okay, Alex has also told me about your troubling view that we are all damned and undeserving. How long until I get even more out of him? You planted the bomb. You want to bring this new flood yourself. Confess, priest, it's over. It's what a good Christian would do for his soul as well as for his neighbor, for Alex. They bark angrily. You might think you can stop it, you unwitting agent of Satan, but it is unavoidable. Our children will walk in the kingdom of God after the flood cleanses the souls of the wicked. Okay. Interrogation successful. Adams can now be charged. Okay. The Truth and Order Special Unit has been... Okay, I just realized that is very close to Law and Order. The Truth and Order Special Unit has been conducting investigations regarding the tragic terrorist attacks that took place several days ago. We now have a solid list of suspects. We're still tracking down possible leads. Let's go with that. We now have a solid list of suspects. Do we? I don't want to lie. I don't know. Let's just go with that. Sounds better. In regards to the explosion... Actually, no, we don't. We can't lie. There we go. In regards to the explosion that targeted the downtown Spring Offices building, our team was able to determine the exact nature of the bomb, as well as its precise placement. Okay, they're brought in for questioning 3 potential suspects. Excuse me, I'm yawning so much. Identified through on-scene CCTV footage, who probably had access to the floors. Good one. The questioning has resulted in the confession and arrest of Gabriel Adams, a 38-year-old priest who admitted his connections to the Liberation Front terrorist group, as well as to the manufacturing and placement of the explosives. Through an NGO he founded, Humanitas, Gabriel Adams had gained unrestricted access to the building by renting out the 13th floor, where he placed the bomb. He was aided in this by Alex Nowak, a troubled young man enrolled in Humanitas' care system. Due to his circumstances, he will not be charged, placed into a mental facility for further questioning, or will be charged because he will question further, then released. Probably that. Well, I don't know. I don't want to pick that. Is it better to question him and then release him, or put him in a mental facility? Because, like, I don't know. That's a really tough question. Because, like, what if that's not a good place for him to be? Like, obviously we want him to get better. We want what's best for him, but we don't want him to, like, suffer. So I'm going to assume that this is, like, a good option. And, yeah. That does it for that, guys. I think this is where we're going to leave it for now. Leave any tips or suggestions you have in the comments or ideas for future games. And, yeah. Y'all stay safe out there. Have an awesome time. Bye for now.